Okay. Hey everyone, what's up? So, another week, another GBM patch. This week was a very interesting welfare. The, what was it? The Mandala. It's an interesting looking suit. The body being a bell, and then it has weird, almost grape-like connectors that hold its body together. What's the word? It's like someone said ball jointed doll, and the other guy had no idea what he meant, so he just made a bunch of ball joints and put them together. That's how I'd liken it too. That looks weird. Anyways, so as normal, we're going to take a look at the new welfare unit. We're going to take a look at the event shop, Gacha, Twitter videos, alterations. Alright, well, I guess it's going to go on. First, I am going to do my hanger real quick. I think I'm finally out of blue tickets. Yeah, I am. Oh well. Okay. So, let's take a look at what the ball-jointed nightmare has. Oh, and it's pilot too, eh? Cool beans. Yeah, ice cream sandwich. We just had some salmon on rice, and I was like, what goes good with that? And I was like, well, ice cream sandwich does. Now, alright, so funny story. As most of you that have a little bit of common sense know, an ice cream sandwich is effectively cookies and cream. Cookie, cream. Pretty straightforward. My brother forgot this, and when he picked these up, I wonder if the light will, maybe it won't play well with it. Maybe I can turn. Yeah, there we go. He got cookies and cream ice cream sandwich. It tastes like an ice cream sandwich. Shocking, hopefully nobody. We've actually put cookies and cream wrapped in cookies and cream. So, anyways, let's get cracking on the Mandala. So, the head. When shot defense is over 10,000, melee crit rate boosted. Crit rate, still terrible. It doesn't matter how much you boost it, it's terrible. Stat-wise. Okay. What the okay. So, we're looking at about 1,200 melee attack, which for a welfare head, okay. Shot-wise, we're looking at more like 2,200, which is significantly lower than what we would expect from a shot head. The melee head is also only kind of when you consider that this is the effectively Sokai welfare suit head. What the fuck? Yeah, effectively, this head serves two purposes. The first, a sub-slot for that glorious mobile fighter tag. Because only so many suits have mobile fighter. It's a very, very rare tag, and core to a lot of melee builds. Every single source of it matters. Here's another one. And two, as was mentioned in chat, aesthetics. If you're into the weird, I don't even know what to call it, head. It looks so weird, man. Okay, so that image that I used in my Discord to show off the suit, the box art for its Gunpla kit, makes it look terrifying and cool. In game, it looks so terribly dorky. Anyways, let's move on. Torso. When squad has all attributes, Initial squad charge plus 10%. Hey, it's the mystery trait. The fuck do you do? I don't think anyone actually got back to me with like concrete, here's what it does. People are like, oh, that's what I think it does. And a lot of it sounded very, very like on point. But what the fuck do you do? Yeah, at least now it's on a free part so we can easily test it. It's like, what the fuck? Anyways, mobile fighter transformer tags again. Cool transformer, really powerful tertiary tag. And I already talked about mobile fighter. The head's pretty much the same, but mobile fighter just stuck out for the noggin. Now, as for traits, this is terrible. All right, so we're looking at about 1,600 or so melee attack. For a torso, that definitely does sit in the above average territory for welfares. Okay. Shot-wise, we're looking at very token values. We're looking at something around just under 1,000. Now, to be fair, pre-Super Sokai, just around 1,000 would have been pretty good. Post-Super Sokai, that's no longer the case. You do need to be sitting at around 12 to 1,300 offensive stats on the torso to be considered kind of in that midline average with the new values that are coming out. So the torso, melee-wise, sits just a little bit above the curve, which is good. Shot, obviously, below. But it makes sense. It's definitely a melee suit at the mobile fighter, and the fact it's from G Gundam didn't give it away. But holy shit, what is with this aesthetic look to it? Like, it reminds me a lot of the Barbados 4th torso, where individually, and part of the suit it's meant to be for, fits in very well. You use it with almost any other suit, and it's like, why? You look terrible. Much like this suit. Yes, Bamco, I've always wanted my torso to be an accordion. How did you know? It's a thing. So statistically, melee-wise, for a welfare, pretty good. Trait, what the fuck do you do? Tags, pretty good. I thought you wanted more unique suits. I want unique traits. I want unique EX skills. I want suits that are unique and that they don't use the normal bipedal skeleton. I don't want abominations that use the normal skeleton. You dig? A lot like how when I first saw the Barbataurus, I was originally very, oh yeah, this is cool shit, unique. They're going with a 4-legged skeleton, insert eyebrow wiggle. Nope, they went with the normal bipedal skeleton. All they've done is tied the leg animations together so that it looks normal, which is a huge letdown. I really wish they had gone with an actual unique skeleton for that. Much like this, where it just uses the normal skeleton with very weird hitboxes and proportions, which is fine. It's just not what I want. Gundam wacky arm inflatable tube man. Yeah, that was a pretty fucking good description, actually. Good job. Pat yourself on the back for that one, Chief. All right, let's move on. Let's look at our fucking blow-up arms. Jeez. Do you ever think the god just looks down upon us and just regrets what he's done? What we've become? While mobile fighter, EX skill cooldown reduced by 15%. Okay, so if you're somehow lacking a decent arm EX skill or trait, this is pretty fucking solid. Mobile fighter is effectively core on melee builds, so you're going to be running it on a melee suit. And you get a cooldown reduction skill. Always nice. Of course, it's not the maximum of 20%, but that's exactly it. You're only losing 5% versus the top end build. Well, not anymore, now that the cap is 23%. But, oh no, 8%. Oh, geez. Oh, gee willikers. It adds up when it's like, you know, your entire mobile suit is gimped like that. But when it's a single part that you're just using as kind of a stopgap, it's pretty good, honestly. Okay. Mobile fighter, high firepower word tags. I am okay with this. Transformer is a very powerful tertiary tag. High firepower, just as so. It is usable on both shot and melee builds. It is plentiful, meaning you'll have no issues getting this word tag activated. It's pretty good. Activates a lot of stuff too. Statistically, a little more straightforward than before. We're looking at about 3,600, 3,700 melee attack, closer to the lower end of things. So that's okay enough. Yeah. And as for shot wise, we're looking at about 900, 950 or so shot attack. For a pair of arms, that's not bad, but considering we've had a lot of welfares that are easily breaking 1200, clip of the EX skill for the Mandala. Oh no. I'm gonna regret looking at this, aren't I? Let's take a look-see. Make me regret my life. What cursed shit is this? I'll play it momentarily once we finish looking at the Mandala. This is some straight cursed shit. Anyways, as I was saying about the arms, statistically, melee-wise, they're actually pretty okay for a set of welfare arms, minus the look. As for shot, they're definitely a lot lower than what we'd expect post Super Sokai. Lots of welfare arms we've seen break 1,000 easily, even the melee-centric ones. So, yeah, good for the slapping, good for the mobile fighter, good for the trait. Okay. Legs. The Mandala Jin Gokurakujo. However you pronounce that. Cutscene, B+ power, D pierce. And I'm assuming that's what I just saw, mana. Raise your melee attack by 24%. So this is actually relatively rare to see on a welfare suit. Not only are we looking at a cutscene with B+ power on a welfare, but we're also looking at one that raises your melee attack by a significant margin, mind you, 24%. Overall, on paper, this looks pretty good. For a welfare, obviously. We would expect it to be at least A if it was a 4-star suit or higher. So a welfare sitting with a B+ power skill, sure, why not? I'll take it for $1. All right, as for parameters, we're looking at 1,200 or so melee attack. Acceptable. Because do remember, right, legs and backpack are offensively statted the worst parts of the suit. So them even breaking 1,000 is always really nice to see, and this clearly does that in both stats. So its torso, like I said, hits about 1,200. Shot attack, we're actually going a little higher than that. We're looking at about 1,500 or so shot attack. Pretty good for a pair of legs. Also really interesting, considering, again, this is a melee suit. Why is it shot attack higher than its melee? We'll never know. Mobile fighter transformer tags, cool beans. And let's take a look at our Bakapaka. Job gauge increase down 10%, so you're going to be gaining your job gauge 10% slower. Honestly, I still don't like the job gauge. I still don't like what it brings to the table. It can be way better than it currently is. So to me, this is not a demerit. It's nothing. And you get a fat melee power boost of 25%. Do keep in mind, typically you will see 30% on 4-star suits, and then Sokai and the more recent line of build projects and stuff have been pushing 40%. 25% is kind of the limit that we've seen for a no altered welfare, so this is effectively the best you can ask for in this pool. It's pretty good. Mobile fighter high firepower word tags. Talked about both of those already. And as for parameters, we're looking at about 1,500 melee attack and about 1,000 or so shot attack. Again, very weird. I'm trying to figure out why it has such shot defense values on this suit when it is what it is. Yeah, it's not like they needed a lot of shot defense back in the G Gundam days. What with everyone running around fisticuff style? Maybe they were all afraid of the windmill Gundam. Yeah, no, it's not a bad backpack. All right, time for the pointy stick, the Kakara, however you pronounce that. So the Kakara Strike Barrage, B powered, D pierce, low cooldown, effectively your pocket rocket skill. So this is going to be a melee. You unleash a flurry towards your enemies. Off the top of my head, as this is a unique name, we may have seen this animation before. I don't recall ever seeing a flurry spear skill before, but probably exists. It's really difficult to judge melee EX skills like this because it really does boil down to the animation. Is it an animation that's easy to whiff? Is it an animation that takes a very long time? Is it an animation that makes you good at dodging things? Like, is it a quick dash with a swing? Is it a kick things into the air and attack them? Or is it stand in the same place and swing your swords a bunch of times and then eventually die? Right? So I can't really judge whether or not it's good. Numbers wise, it looks okay, but that's purely on paper. Statistically, interesting. So we're sitting at 3,600, more like 3,700 melee attack. Considering the best welfare weapon that we've seen pushed, I think was 3,800 for a melee weapon, this sits really pretty up there in the stat value pool. On top of that, it does have a healthy amount of shot carryover, sitting at around 500 or so. It may sound like a small token amount, which it is, but this is a melee weapon as well. So seeing any shot carryover at all is actually quite nice. Cool stuff. Mobile fighter, high firepower tags, good stuff. Overall, the Mandala Gundam, it does the melee thing pretty well. It's got some very healthy tag selection. The traits are... It's got a couple of good traits. I'll give that. The EX skills look... On paper, the weapon EX skill looks pretty okay, but I don't think... Oh, excuse me. I don't think we've actually seen a good melee EX skill that has ever started with flurry of strikes. So I'm not going to hold my breath on that one. Yeah. Overall, the Mandala, pretty okay for a welfare. Like, honestly, all things considered, it packs a lot of punch. It's got really nice tag selection. Mobile fighter alone makes it valued, like, immediately. And it does have some interesting traits to kind of slap in there, so... Okay. Now let's take a look at the pirate. Kiral Mekural. Man, you definitely look like you belong in that clown of a suit. I'm just gonna say, you definitely belong in that suit, you absolute fucking clown. Yes, straight jester. Alright, so trait. When squad has all attributes, squad all damage, plus 35. God, that is terrible. If it was like 35%, alrighty, we cook with fire. But plus 35? Like, is this an insult or what? I don't understand. Tags. Mobile fighter, high firepower. Again, nice to see another source of that mobile fighter tag. So 10 out of 10 alone for that. Statistically, so he is a defender, which automatically kind of kills a lot of his value. But we're looking at about 1900. Yeah, 1900 or so melee attack. About 850 or so shot. He packs a good amount of melee punch for a welfare pilot, but his defender tag does kill a lot of his utility because, you know, you're not going to get the benefits in your melee pool from defender. So okay. So the suit, pretty okay. The pilot, why do you exist? Why are we here? Just to suffer? What are we looking at for here? Mass production, Federation, Commander, Transformer, and for Desert. I can get behind that. Alright. What are our Gunplas for this week? Anima, Exia, and Death Scythe. So I think your best bet here is to pick up the Exia, and I believe it's the legs on that one, is it not? I can't remember. Oh, or is that the speed one I'm thinking of that has the really good leg EX skill? Or does this one have it too? Huh, nope. Double saber shear. Get out of here. Oh yeah, there's the Trans Am. Delicious on the backpack. Yeah. I don't remember anything about the anima now that I think about it. I remember the Death Scythe, but not a lot. Is this the Hell or just Death Scythe? Just Death Scythe, yeah, so nothing doing there. Yeah, I'd probably pick up the Trans Am, honestly. I don't remember anything about the anima. Anima resizes chest is good. Let's see. Anima Rampage. A power, D pierce, cutscene. Heal, 29% melee, 19% shot. It's not bad for what it is, because it is in the pick ticket pool. That's not inherently bad. It's not amazing, but it's not bad. 1/100. It doesn't matter if the Death Scythe is 1/100. It's the Death Scythe. In this game, it's dead on arrival. It's just not good, unfortunately. I would go with the Exia if I had to pick any of the suits here. And I can see I've collected pretty much the entire suit already. So, anyways. So with that out of the way, we do have a build project pilot, Von Spack. Now, I guess I'll look at him here. To my understanding, he does get a 7-star upgrade. His tune-up is available for that. And that, if he does have it, that will throw off my numbers. Oh, he doesn't. Cool beans. All right, so let's take a look at Senor Spack. Didn't the Death Scythe have a Yeet shield? I don't know if it was the 1/100 Death Scythe for the Yeet shield, but that is worth double checking. No, I don't see any X skill here, Chief. No. Okay. All right, Mr. Spack, what do you got going for you? When attacking with physical, all power boost by 30%. Hey, we've seen this trait before. Where have we seen this trait? It's a real mystery of our time. It's a good trait. I'm just, you don't need to build the build project pilot if you want that trait. Oh, sorry, Bandai. All right. Tags, high mobility pro tag. Okay, he definitely is high mobility. Definitely a pro tag. Thematically on point. Decent enough combination of tags, I guess. And stats. Okay. So, excuse me. So he's an outfighter, so he is going to benefit from the melee boost. Good. I don't like that defender secondary option, though. That's kind of yikes. Anyways, we're looking at about 3,400 melee attack after carryover, which is solid stuff. And we're looking at about 550 or so shot, very token values. This is pre-alteration. That's pretty good, especially considering a lot of his stats are in the defensive category as well. He's going to scale really well post-alteration with those numbers. I'm looking forward to taking a look-see. Overall, stat-wise, pretty damn good. Tag-wise, definitely workable. You know, like, pro tag's pretty great, and high mobility is a really good tertiary. Trait, it is so easy to find physical, it's not even funny, and you get the power boost. It's good stuff. However, I would be remiss not to point out, we have this trait available from other sources that don't require you to be using a specific attack type, which kind of make them a little better overall. But if you're a big fan of Von Spack, you know what? He's not a bad pilot. I just don't think he's build project good, at least not in the current phase of the game. But he's good. All right. And that's that. Now then, let's hop on over to the Gacha and see what hell hath wrought. As always, I'm going to be ignoring the 7 stars here. I'm just going to look at them in the alteration. but I will look at the pilots and anything that is not 7-star. So we have the Amazon Gundam and the Aegis Knight, and they are both 7-star tune-up. Oh, guess what that means? That's a skip. All right, let's take a look at our pilots for this week. We have Werner Holbein. Holbein? All right, what's your trait? Shot attack down 10%, so your shot damage output's going to be reduced by 10%. Doesn't matter if you're in melee. Vernier recovery rate boosted by 20%. I still don't like Vernier recovery. I just don't think it's a necessary trait. Now, this is very interesting, gang. Grab a seat by the fire pit. Grab your popcorn. And listen to this horror story. Shot attack down 10%. Your shot attack damage is going to be reduced by 10%. It wouldn't sound bad if you were running a melee suit, but this motherfucker is a long shooter job. What the hell, Bandai? What are you doing? You literally made his sole trait counter the only thing he's good at. What are you doing? All right, anyways, moving right along. Yeah, so stat-wise, we're looking at about 450 or so melee attack. I'm not surprised. He's a shot license job. Shot-wise, we're looking at about 1900. Well, hey, positives to this, it can only get better from here. Am I wrong? Okay, let's take a look at Valder Farkill. I find it kind of funny that his last name is Farkill, and he's a melee pilot. I just found that kind of chuckly, you know, it's kind of like, see what you did there. Technically lower than 1800 because the thing is the 10% reduction is applied to the damage, not to the stats. Which I guess, I don't know what would be worse, a 10% stat reduction or a 10% damage reduction. Both of them are really, really bad, but as we don't have access to the damage formula, I don't know what would actually be more apparent. It's definitely something that scales a lot worse depending on your actual stat value, right? If you have 10k shot attack damage, right, and you lose 10% to your final damage, that is not as crippling as if you had 120k shot attack and you lost 10% of your shot attack, right? Like it's different numbers, right? But at the end of the day, it's just ridiculous, frankly. Anyhow, this guy, so he's an outfighter. Melee stats, we're looking at about 3,400. Wow, this guy has Fawn Spac stats right here. Beautiful. Look at this. He's a build pilot now. Oppa! As for shot attack, we're looking at about 900. He pretty much, this boy is Fawn Spac. Trait. When all 3 Gunpla are speed, squad melee damage plus 300. All right, so he does have 3-0 in his part traits, but this one is also much worse than Fawn Spac. So I'll give Fawn Spac the +1 to that one. This is a terrible trait. Just gone. Close combat for computers. Close combat as a nice tertiary tag for computers. No, I'm not a fan of the 4-line of tags. No, you can't really do much about picking your stage 90% of the time, so that's really fucking worthless. Today's been an interesting day. I'll give it that. All right, let's take a look at the Twitter videos for the new suits, and we'll look at alterations, and we'll go from there. Okay, gang? So... Ha, perfect. Okay. So, who do we get first? We get the Aegis Knight. Yeah, I'll show the Mandala clip after this. Thanks for reminding me. All right, so an awakening skill. Oh, did that actually open up its armor and stuff? No, it didn't. It just made it glow. Cool. Okay. No. No. No dice. No dice. That is unacceptable. So this is one of those skills where if you whiff it, you're literally opening yourself up to a ton of damage for no discernible reason. That's not okay. That is not okay. It's nice you get a little bit of a what looked like a melee boost at the end of it, but that ain't worth it. Ooh, hey, the cutscene. But that's like the 6th time we've seen this EX skill. The only difference is it has the cut-in at the end. Which, okay, granted, that's pretty cool. That little cut-in at the end is pretty cool. But this... Don't get me wrong. It's nice. It's cool. It's quick. It's to the point. Big swing, big damage. But, like... Really? It's like a quicker Sky. Effectively. It's pretty much a quicker Sky. Anyways, let's move right along here to the other suit, our Amazon. Alright, so aesthetically, I'm getting some real chaos vibes. Excuse me. Wasn't this literally the exact same cutscene or the same skill we just saw with a different camera angle? Hold the fuck on. What? Excusey? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, no, so there's an extra swing in that one. That one only has 3. Big difference. All right, so let's take a look at this one. The next EX skill. Looks like just a straight beam. All right, quick to the point. No real complaints there. Cool. And the backpack. I will say, I'm a fan of this. Just because I like that whole, you know, the shoulder guns kind of thing. It's nothing we haven't seen before. It's not groundbreaking. But it's not bad. Considering that's kind of the bar that I set here, yeah, it's not a complete shit show. That's sad. Okay. Anyways, let's take a look at the Mandala real quick here, because I feel like everyone should enjoy this like I got to. Where's my full screen button on this player? Perfect. Okay. So window capture, new. Excellent. Now I'm really curious because it doesn't seem to actually have the video on here. No, it doesn't. All right. I may just capture the whole monitor, go from there. I don't really care that much. It is a full screen application, so. Excellent. Okay. So we slice that down to size. Slice that down to size. Shrink it a little bit. Oh, we can make it a little bigger than that. All right, cool. All right, so now everyone gets to enjoy the suffering, shall we? Yeah, it's actually just... What am I looking at? It's unique. We'll give it that. But, like... What? Funny enough, you are correct. That is better looking as an EX skill than the Gacha stuff. It's kind of sad. Kind of sad. All right. Well, now that we're done memeing, let us continue with what we were doing, shall we? So we have the Aegis Knight, the A to Z, and there's our Spacky boy. So we'll take a look at Fawn Spack, and then we will look at the new suits. So, post-alter. When attacking with physical, all power boost by 30%. As I said, that's not bad. Pretty easy to get your hands on physical. The all power boost is nice. With whip category equipped, initial squad charge plus 18%. It's that magical what the fuck do you do again trait. I don't know what to say about the second trait, because I don't know what it does. High mobility pro tag. Yep, no, still good numbers. Obviously much big because very alter. I actually like that he doesn't have a 7-star alteration. It's good to see that at least the pilots aren't falling victim to this thing as well. Okay. So, Fawn Spack's second trait is a real head scratcher. I really... Yeah. It likely means initial EX charge just pronounced weirdly. But that doesn't make sense, because we already have initial EX skill charge boost as a valid active trait. Why would they suddenly use different words to mean the same thing? They slipped in new bonus trait rarities in the Sokai? Ugh. Alright. Well, let's take a look at the A to Z. Wow, that's a lot of parts. Let's take a look at the Aegis Knight. Oh, that's a lot of parts. Okay, we'll start with the Arizona Gundam. Alright, head. Middle shooter job. Shooting power boosted by... Oh, before I get too into this. For anyone that hasn't watched me do talks about the alterations before, I don't look at the stats. I just look at the traits or EX skills, because when you alternate a part, that's really the only thing that really has a drastic change. We have less than 5 examples on record in this game where the stats of a suit drastically change between alterations. But with that in mind, I do recommend that before you invest the materials and resources to actually alter a part, you do your own research, make sure it is actually turning into what you want, because there's no takebacks. So with that in mind, while I'm looking at these suits, as I didn't look at them in the gacha, I'll be looking at the trait, EX skill, and word tags, just to have an idea of what the part is. I will be completely ignoring the stats. They are all 7-star suits. They're going to be better than everything else we've had up to this point, and it is very safe to assume that every single week a new 7-star comes out, they are power creeping the last week's. Moving right along. After I finish scratching my ear. Okay, moving along. So, as I was saying with the head, middle shooter job, shooting power boost by 30%. Middle shooter job, very easy to get your hands on. Shooting power boost by 30%. Dope stuff. When attacking with beam, very easy to do. That works for both melee and shot. So, second trait, you know, maybe. Shooting power boost by 35%. No, it's just shot. But, good news, we have a lot of very powerful beam shot EX skills. So, you're not going to have a lot of problems taking advantage of that. So if you're a middle shooter and using beam EX skills, you're looking at a 65% boost. It's pretty good. Okay, Ace exclusive and high firepower. Fancy schmancy word tags. Ace exclusive being one of the 2 primary shot tags you're going to see on effectively every shot build in the history of ever due to the 10% primary stat boost. And then high firepower, as I've mentioned, is a very powerful tertiary tag that is usable in both melee and shot due to what it does. Also activates a bunch of very useful skills through traits, so yeah, pretty good stuff. Moving along to the torso. Torso. When shot defense is over 10,000, pretty easy to do. EX skill power boosted by 30%. Nice. Solid shit. When melee defense is over 10,000, Alright, easy enough. Shooting power boosted by another 35%. Hot diggity damn. So if you're running a 10,000 shot and melee defense suit, you're getting a healthy amount of boost to your shot EX skills. Nice. Honestly, that's pretty fucking good. A shooter's wet dream? Yeah, it's almost like they're trying to bait all of us shot users to fucking roll this suit. I'm fucking honest to you, Bamco. I'll save. Oh, I'll save. You can mark my words. While high firepower, initial EX skill charge boosted by 25%. High firepower on a ton of parts. You're not even going to have an issue trying to find these. If anything, you'll have an issue trying to not find them. And you get the 25% initial EX skill charge. Initial EX skill charge is not the same as EX skill cooldown reduction. This refers to the first time your skill comes off cooldown. When you take a look at a skill's timers, it'll say a time and then in brackets, you know, the initial time for it. That is what gets reduced, not the primary timer. The big timer is for EX skill cooldown reduction. The number in the brackets is for initial. 25% is huge, as most EX skills typically have. I think the highest we've seen is just above 20 seconds. So this would take a significant chunk of that time away on top of any other EX cooldown skills that you already have. So simple enough. When attacking with beam, I've already established how easy that is. EX skill power boosted by 40%. Woo-wee. So this is one of those parts that's actually build neutral. You can use this in both a shot and a melee build. As its requirement, high firepower works on both shot and melee, and its initial EX skill charge boost. And then when attacking with beam, which is available for both melee and shot EX type skills, you get an EX skill power boost. For a neutral part, it's pretty good. Like, with technique attribute, EX skill cooldown reduced by 20%. Very easy to get technique. 20% cooldown reduction is the second highest modifier available for that. The highest is 23%. Dope ass shit. With technique attribute, EX skill power boosted by 35%. Nice. So as long as you're running technique, you're getting a very symbiotic set of traits here. You're getting an EX skill cooldown reduction of, you know, a fifth of its timer. Beautiful. And it's getting a 35% power boost, the second highest mod you can ask for from the 40% as the highest. That's good shit. Man, good stuff. All right, backpack. Oh, hold on, wait. We also have the transformer tag now. When did that kick in? Was that the legs? Yes. Transformer is also a very nice trait to have, or word tag to have. It's another powerful tertiary. Yeah. All right, backpack. So this is one of the EX skills. This is the one that, not surprisingly, had the backpack manifest the cannons and shoot big laser that go burr. So on this, we're looking at A+ power, D pierce, and it has a cutscene tier cooldown. You do get a 39% shot attack boost. Now, my one gripe with this, my double gripe with this. For one, this is a Sokai 7-star suit, right? Sokai 7-star. Its strongest EX skill, the cutscene, has A+ power. Doesn't even go to S. On top of that, it gives you a 39% shot attack boost, when typically the signature EX skill of Sokai suits has a 49% boost. Typically. Not always. Typically. So we're looking at a suit that not only has one of the lower ends of power that we've seen for a Sokai suit, especially post-power creep, but also one of the more median levels of boosting. Plus, it's also raised your shot attack. Not your squad shot attack, not your allies, just yours. Like, considering the traits, I don't know how to feel when the EX skill is so... This looks like a 4-star suit that got its retrofitted fucking, alteration down the line. This doesn't feel like a Sokai suit that has alteration out of the box that we typically see. Normally, if this was like a year ago, I'd be happy to see this. because it would be like, oh hey, you know, look at this suit. It's brand new off the line. It's like got really good traits, but it trades off for an EX skills. But unfortunately, post power creep of the Super Sokais, it's literally just gimping itself. Anyways, moving along. Yeah. And even though I did talk a lot of shit, it's not a bad EX skill. It is powerful. It is very quick. It will do damage. However, my gripe is purely with this feels more like a altered 4-star suit, not a Sokai suit, you know? That's pretty much it. We don't have any Jirobis that scale to S rank yet. Yeah, I just don't understand why this one doesn't. It is a 7-star. It is a Sokai suit. And it's, as was stated in chat, packed to the fucking rafters with traits that are great. It just doesn't make any sense. Anyways, moving on. Let's take a look at the twin swords. When armored's 80% or more, EX skill power boost by 40%. That's easy, don't get hit. While Ace exclusive, shooting power boost by 40%. This is, again, another very powerful combination of traits. I have no complaints here. They're both the highest modifiers you can ask for and very easy to activate. Ace exclusive high firepower tags, no complaints. All right, so here's the Twin Hyper Mega Launcher. This is the one where it had the guns, did the quick blast, called it a day. A Pierce, B+ power. This is going to hit like a fucking truck. Low cool, well, not really low cooldown. It's kind of got a medium cooldown at a minute. 15 seconds initial. Yeah, so it's good. Going to hit really hard. Has kind of a janky cooldown, but it'll do. It'll do with A Pierce, B+ power. All right, let's take a look at the Twin Hyper Mega Launcher coupled. Middle shooter job, EX skill power boost by 30%. All right, sure, why not? And cooldown time up 5%, buff EX skill up 30%. So, very easy to get a middle shooter. EX skill power boost, good. Cool time up 5%. So all your cooldowns are going to get a 5% increase. So if you were running a 100% cooldown reduction build, you'd have to find a way to chop off another 5% from it. And then buff EX skill effect up 30%. All your buffs just get a flat 30%. So that 39% shot buff, for example, would bump up to 69%. Yeah. The second trait, 5% is not that bad. Honestly, 5% is pretty easy to work around. I would say it's worth it. Good stuff. And the Beam Saber Shield. Unlimited Saber. Yeah, so this is the one that I saw that just looked like garbage. This is the, the 4 swing ending with the bicycle kick thing. So 3 swings and a bicycle kick. Low cooldown, A+ or A- Pierce, B+ power. Just the animation's garbage, frankly. I would pass. Yeah, so the Amazon Gundam is powerful. That's not even an argument. Like, it's the traits alone carry the suit to greatness. Everything else is effectively just gravy on top of it. It has a very powerful word tag selection, and obviously the stats are gonna be fucking jacked all shit. Yeah. It's pretty good. You're at Miguel. Talk to you later, buddy. So, next up and last up is the Aegis Knight. I don't know what to expect from this suit, honestly. Let's find out. Aegis Knight. King Mode. The head EX skill. Awakening. Recover 68% your maximum armor. That's a solid heal. Raise your melee attack by 19%. That's okay. Raise your melee defense by 59%. It makes sense. Aegis Knight. But, and your Gunpla resists flinching for a set period of time. Purely in the context of the suit's name, this makes a lot of sense. In terms of GBM meta, that's an awakening. High mobility, close combat, powerful tertiaries, cool stuff. Torso. When beam resist is over 5,000, not hard to do, melee power boosted by 40%. And Outfighter job, melee power boosted by another 40%. So as long as you have over 5,000 beam resist and you're using an Outfighter, 80% melee power boost right there. Wham bam, no questions. That's good, no complaints. High mobility, close combat tags again. Good traits. Hey, Sukiya, what's up, buddy? All right, the arms. When armor is 50% or more, 60% chance to not recoil. No. When close combat, EX skill power boost by 40%. And you know, it's pretty good. Yeah, it's good stuff. Pretty good stuff. Close combat, super easy to get your hands on. 40% EX skill power boost, always nice. The first trait does feel like a little bit of a waste, but if you don't got anything better. That's what I just looked at. Cool. All right, legs. When operated on auto, enemy EX skill power reduced by 30%. This applies only to the suit these legs are on, so that does kind of limit its usability quite a bit. While high mobility, very easy to do, enemy melee power reduced by 30%. Again, only going to apply for the suit that's on, limited scope. So pretty much you would have to be operated on auto. Now mind, when it says that, it means you have to be controlling the suit and it is on auto. Not you've let it's like you have your suit and then you have your two ally suits. Those two suits don't count as being on auto. So they don't get those benefits. You have to be controlling it and have it set to auto for this. So, yeah, kind of not amazing. Backpack. With speed attribute, melee power boost by 30%. Super easy to get speed attribute, melee power boost, healthy, nice, good stuff. While melee attack is over 10,000, very easy to do. EX skill power boosted by 35%. So if you're running a speed suit and you have over 10,000 melee attack, both of those super easy to accomplish. You're getting 30% melee power boost, 35% EX skill power boost. Good stuff, easy, good. Good. Sword. With speed attribute, EX skill cooldown reduced by 20%. Again, very easy to get the speed attribute and the EX skill cooldown reduction. That's the highest mod you could get besides the 23%. Good stuff. Sure. And while high firepower, again, very easy to activate. EX skill power boost by 35%. This is another case of one of those neutral parts where you can use this in a shot or a melee build, as neither of the traits require specifically melee or shot or boost melee or shot. It's a cooldown reduction for EX skill and a power boost for EX skills. Very good. Very good stuff, this sword. All right, time for the, activate king mode and bring a full output beam. This is the big sword swing we saw with the little cut in at the end for the face. S power, D pierce, low cooldown. It's effectively the Sky Gundam except a shorter animation. Like, it's quick damage. I don't really have a lot of complaints about that. I'm let down by the animation effectively. Not a bad EX skill though. SMG. With Lance category equipped, initial EX skill charge boosted by 20%. I've already talked about that. Lance category, not the easiest thing in the world to find. We only have so many Lances that are accessible or decent, but they are there, absolutely. And the initial EX skill charge boost, always helpful. When buffed, melee power boosted by 35%. Buffs, Those are dime a dozen, easy to get, hundreds of sources, no problem. You should have no issues with that. And that'll count for any type of buff, awakening, anything. So, cool. Okay. And lastly, the shield. The Levitating Beam Rapier. Well, we've seen the animation for this. This is the one that mimicked what the, well, anyways, it shares a very similar animation to the other suit that came along with it. A- power, D pierce, low cooldown. Not a fan of the animation, just like the other suit. Too easy to whiff, too easy to do no damage and leave yourself open for attack. No, thank you. All right. And I think with that, we've actually gone over all the new stuff because there's really not much left. We looked at all the EX stuff, the welfare, the shop, the gacha. There's no sneaky patch update maintenance notice in here, right? No, there's not. Okay. Cool beans. So, in terms of the new content that got added, Mandala, good for melee attack. Got some nice traits on a couple of key parts. Other than that, it's just a big melee gorilla. Pilot, walk off the gangplank. As for the gacha pilots, our 3-star pilot literally gimps himself. No thank you. The 4-star pilot is pretty good, minus the trait. Gacha wise, with our 2 new suits, the Aegis and the Amazon, AZ, whatever. AZ, kitted to the rafters, has amazing traits across the board. A couple of nice EX skills on there, good tag selection. As for its other suit, the Aegis Knight, it's okay. It's got some nice word tag selection, not terribly amazing. The EX skill selection is... Well, it looks like my stream decided to have a wee bit of a hiccup there. Well, hey, you know what? At least it somehow managed to survive all the way up until this point, so I can only complain so much. Don't forget that the amazing cutscene of Mandala, blah, 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 build pilot, new bonus trait stuff. Yeah, I guess I can check the new bonus traits for the gacha, but considering that's a gacha within a gacha, I'm really not, like... Yeah. It's the same as before. All it's boiled down to is if you can invest in these bonus traits and actually make them kind of like min-maxed on your suit, you will have a significant advantage over your opponents with this properly set up. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, now they are kind of significant. Right, before when it was 5%, it was like, yeah, okay, you know, that's like an extra trade in your pocket, can be a big deal. But now we're up to well over 60%. That's kind of significant now. This is starting to get really, really high. Especially when you look at this one here, all power boosted by 10% in arena. As we all know, that is the only thing that matters these days to people. You can technically have like an 80% boost in your friggin' stats in arena. Are we really chasing numbers? Yes, Jun. That's all people care about. They're not satisfied with their 170k melee power suits that can one-shot everything in the game. They need that 200k for something. I don't know what for. For something. But yeah. Anyways, I'm going to wrap up, guys. Really nothing new. Lots of power creep. The new suits look pretty great. The Mandala has a very interesting appearance and all that fun stuff. You haven't gone over the alt of the build pilot. Yeah, I did. What? Hello? It was the first thing I looked at in the alteration pool. He was one that when you're using a whip, you get the initial squad charge plus whatever percent, which we have no idea what it actually does. So, yeah. Anyways, as I keep saying, I'm going to wrap up. Peace out, guys. Thanks for tuning in, everyone that did. I hope my internet stays this stable for the upcoming days so I can actually do my normal game streams. But I'll let you guys know. I do have a technician showing up on Friday to take another look at everything to see what else is remaining wrong and all that. I don't really have much control over my internet being a little bit of shit stick. So yeah, if I don't stream on the weekdays after the stream, that's why. Not much I can do about it. So my apologies in advance on that. Anyways, see you, guys, and yeah, see you in the next one.